It all started right after I led the team to victory in the summer championship. No renewal notice, no meeting, not even a word from management, just silence. But then, out of nowhere, I stumbled upon something that made my blood run cold. A withdrawal request from my account, with my girlfriend Elena's name boldly signed on it. I didn't even think. I stormed into her office like a man possessed, demanding an explanation. From the bottom of the league to the top, I had fought my way through pain and injury, wrists bound in tape, refusing to give up. And she, as the team's coach, knew every ounce of that struggle. Yet when I confronted her, she just laughed, soft, dismissive, cruel. "Relax," she said. "It was just a bet. Mickey and I were testing if you'd noticed before the deadline. I won, Mickey. The rookie she'd fought so hard to bring in, the same one everyone else doubted." My heart clenched. A bet? All that sacrifice, all that pain, just a casual game to her? I tried to keep my voice steady. "So it's okay to use me for entertainment now?" She sighed, annoyed, brushing me off like I was being unreasonable. "You can cancel it yourself, can't you? What's the big deal?" And that's when it hit me. To her, everything I'd bled for, the position I'd earned, meant nothing more than a line of code in a system she could delete on a whim. My chest tightened. If Mickey had made that mistake, would she still call it no big deal? The anger drained out of me, replaced by something colder, heavier. She looked up, finally, eyes flicking toward the dark circles under mine, the tape on my wrist. For a second, I thought I saw guilt, even regret. Her fingers crushed a sticky note on the desk, her tell whenever she couldn't admit she was wrong. A tiny spark of hope flickered. Maybe she hadn't meant it. Maybe she was sorry. But then she spoke again, and that spark died instantly. "You said it yourself, if..." Her tone was sharp, detached. "Stop wasting time here and just withdraw your request." I swallowed hard. Elena, Mickey's move was a breach of authority. I could go to the boss, file an appeal with the league. She laughed, bitter and loud. "An appeal? Are you insane? It was just a joke. Mickey's new, he got emotional, and I'm the one who signed him. I'm responsible for him. Why are you acting like this? Competing with a rookie? You're being ridiculous." Her voice kept rising, anger burning brighter with each word until she finally snapped, "Fuck off!" For a moment, I couldn't breathe. She had promised me, no matter how bad things got, she'd never say that word. Her father had said it once, right before her mother walked out forever. I searched her face for something, remorse, hesitation, anything, but found only cold impatience and a flicker of disgust. The tape on my wrist dug into my skin, cutting off the last of my strength. I remembered the finals, the moment the screen flashed victory, and she'd run into my arms, crying, shouting, "We did it!" That warmth, that pride, where had it gone? Now her voice was just ice. And I realized I couldn't do it anymore. My shoulders dropped. "All right," I said quietly. "I'll go." Not just out of her office, out of the team, out of everything we built. Back in my room, the screen still showed the resignation form. One click, just one click, and everything would go back to normal. But I couldn't bring myself to do it. My finger hovered over the button, frozen, until a knock at the door broke the silence. It was Mickey. That fake innocence plastered across his face. "Elena asked me to get you," he said. "Something about lineup changes." Then he smiled, feigning concern. "You two argued, huh? If this is about the bet, blame me. Don't be too hard on her, okay?" Every word dripped with false humility. Every glance reeked of smugness. I looked at him, this rookie she'd defended so fiercely, and all I felt was disgust. Elena once told me Mickey reminded her of me when I first started out. She said she wanted to give him a chance, the same way she once gave me. Now, standing there, I finally understood what that meant. At first, I didn't think much of it. Because of everything that had happened, I'd started keeping an eye on them, Elena and Mickey. Still, she never treated him any differently. She said she admired his potential, but her tone was always the same. Strict, professional, detached. Sometimes she even complained about him, saying he was reckless, that he cracked under pressure, that he didn't have the bigger picture in mind. She'd even admitted she'd misjudged him, said he was nothing like me. That was until 2 months ago. It was during the group stage. Her new strategy made no sense. It was risky, messy, detached from reality. And after 3 straight losses, we were hanging by a thread in the loser's bracket. One more loss, and our playoff dreams would have been over. I couldn't just sit back and watch it all fall apart. So in the next match, I made a call. I threw her plan out the window and followed my instincts. And we won. When the victory screen flashed, the others cheered, but Elena didn't. She just stood there, staring at me with this complicated look on her face. "Why did you change the strategy?" she asked. I thought she was just curious, so I told her the truth. But then her expression hardened. "I'll let it go this time," she said. "But don't forget, I'm the coach. You're the player. You execute, not decide." Her words hit like ice. I frowned, trying to keep calm. "Elena, this isn't chess. It's esports. Things change by the second. We have to adapt. The ones actually playing know what works." That's when she snapped. The notebook slammed to the floor, pages scattering. "You're arrogant. What if we'd lost?" Who would have taken responsibility then? "I would," I said quietly. And I meant it. We didn't speak after that. Not until management called her in, praised the win, praised me, and she had no choice but to keep me as the starter. When we won the championship later, I thought all of that was behind us. She ran to me, tears in her eyes, hugging me so tightly I could barely breathe. "Augustine, we did it," she cried. And in that moment, I believed her. I really thought that fight had been nothing but a small crack we could patch up. But I was wrong. I found out later that after our argument, Mickey had stayed behind to comfort her. He listened, texted her, stayed close, and slowly I started noticing the shift. She smiled at him more. He brought her breakfast. She stopped saying no. Her strategies began to revolve around him, and even the team started to joke that Elena was ready to replace me. She'd just laugh, hold up 3 fingers and say, "Don't listen to them. You're the only one in my heart. Liar." So when Mickey showed up at my door that day, pretending to be all innocent, I knew what he was doing. "Are you still mad?" he asked with that fake concern that made my skin crawl. Before I could answer, the sound of heels echoed down the hall. Elena. She rushed over, eyes going straight to Mickey first, not me.
"What are you doing here?"
she asked, voice soft, full of concern. Then she turned to me, her tone instantly sharp. "Augustine, are you giving him a hard time again?" Mickey stepped in like the perfect actor, pretending to defend me. "No, Elena, it's my fault. I just thought we should include Augustine in the lineup discussion." Her expression softened immediately. "I'm the coach," she said coolly. "Adjusting the roster is my responsibility. Some people think that winning a few championships gives them the right to bully others, but don't blame me if I have to be harsh." And then it clicked. She'd never forgiven me for defying her back then. This entire thing, the resignation, the bet, it wasn't an accident. It was payback. Her twisted version of justice. I looked at her, feeling the anger drain into something else, disbelief. "You're beyond saving," I muttered. Her face went pale, then hard again. "Do you have to be so petty?" She snapped. "You know what? I was hesitant before, but now I see I was right. Replacing you was the best decision. With that temper, you don't even deserve to step on stage." The words hit like a knife straight to the chest. The woman who once told me I'd be a world champion was now saying I didn't deserve to play at all. My fists tightened until my knuckles turned white. She looked away first because she remembered. She remembered when we had nothing, when no team wanted us, when it was just her and me climbing together, fighting through every loss, every sleepless night. But now she really wanted to throw me away. "Mickey's not like you," she said quietly. "He's forgiving. If you just apologize, we can end this. 5 years as teammates, 3 years in love, and all it took was one fight and someone else's comforting words to erase it all." I stared at her, my voice cold. "Keep dreaming." Her face darkened. "You're so stubborn." Maybe I was. Maybe that was all I had left. I didn't say another word. Just slammed the door shut, hard enough to shake the frame, and locked it. The resignation form was still glowing on my screen, the countdown ticking down from 40 minutes. I hovered over the button and pressed withdraw. Then, without hesitation, I selected do not renew, because I wasn't going to walk away over a stupid bet. But I wasn't going to stay in a team or a love that turned my loyalty into a joke. That night I checked the date one last time. My contract would expire in less than 24 hours. Without thinking, I picked up my phone and sent a message to the same scout who'd been chasing me about a transfer just yesterday. "Need a shot caller? My contract's ending soon. No transfer fee required." The reply came almost instantly, a flood of excitement lighting up my screen. "Yes, yes, 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 yes!" Wait there, I'm prepping the contract now. If you're joking, I swear I'll hunt you down. A soft ding. The contract arrived. I stared at the screen, then let out a long breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. Leaving SCG, leaving Elena. It didn't hurt the way I thought it would. In fact, it felt strangely freeing. Like walking out of a room that had been locked for far too long. Even the ache in my wrist seemed to fade. I thought back to the night I'd promised her. I'm going to take SCG to the World Championship with you. Looking back now, that sounded almost like a joke. I signed the new contract, digital ink sealing the end of one chapter and the start of another. Then I started packing. That's when my phone buzzed again. My childhood friend. 2 voice notes, both full of frantic shouting. His tone was all chaos and disbelief. Augustine, check the video I just sent you now! The next message came with a clip. The video was shaky, like he'd been hiding in some dark corner to record it. Neon lights flickered across familiar faces, my teammates. Everyone from SCG was there, except me. And in the center of it all, Elena sat beside Mickey. Too close, laughing. Someone's voice rose over the music. Elena, truth or dare? Another voice followed with a teasing laugh. If you pick dare, you've got 2 options. Either drink cross-cup with a guy here, or make Augustine say I was wrong. The room burst into laughter. They all knew about our fight that morning, and they were enjoying every second of it. Mickey turned toward her, that familiar smug glint in his eyes. Elena hesitated, just a heartbeat, then picked up her phone. And right then, my screen lit up. Her name flashed across the top. I answered, silent. On her end, the music was loud, laughter spilling into her slurred voice. Maybe she'd been drinking. Augustine, she breathed, I was too worked up this morning. I'm giving you one last chance. Just tell Mickey I was wrong, and I'll put you back in the starting lineup. I'll pretend none of this ever happened. A cold laugh escaped before I could stop it. Elena, let me make one thing clear. I will never apologize to him. Not even if I die. The air between us froze. Then came her anger, sharp and hot. Fine, you've got guts. I didn't let her finish. I hung up. She called again. I hung up again. The 3rd time I blocked her. And just like that, silence. Then another video. My friend again. In the clip, Elena looked furious, humiliated. She slammed her glass to the floor. The crash echoed over the music. The laughter around her died instantly. Mickey reached for her arm, nervous. Elena, don't be mad. Let's stop. Stop? She snapped. Why should we stop? She pointed at one of the teammates. Record this, go on. Let Augustine see. I, Elena, am not his and his alone. And before anyone could react, she grabbed Mickey by the collar and kissed him. Even though I'd already decided to walk away, something inside me still cracked at the sight. That sharp, suffocating pain in my chest. It twisted, burned, then slowly it faded. I typed out a message to my friend. I'm going to City A. Whatever happens with her now, it's none of my business. Then I turned off my phone. I didn't expect her to show up that same night. But she did, reeking of alcohol, eyes glossy with something between fury and desperation. I saw the system, she slurred. You withdrew your resignation. I knew it. You couldn't bring yourself to leave. You can't live without SCG. Or without me. She stepped closer. Apologize to Mickey and I'll reinstate you as starter. I stared at her for half a second, then laughed quietly, coldly, and closed the door in her face. By morning, she was gone. And after that, there was nothing left, just silence. Thick, heavy silence that neither of us dared to break. It stayed that way until the day before I was supposed to leave. That afternoon, the team manager came by, scratching the back of his neck. Augustine, Elena's holding a celebration party tonight. She wants everyone there. I frowned. A celebration? We already had one after the summer championship. He shifted awkwardly. Elena specifically asked for you. Manager? I interrupted, calm but firm. My contract expires today. By the time that party starts, I won't even be part of this team. And I walked away. When my plane touched down, my phone started buzzing again. My childhood friend, his voice half panicked. Augustine, she's here, Elena. She showed up at my house asking for you. I told her you're gone, but she won't believe me. She's waiting outside, man. She's lost it. I frowned. Tell her I've already left, for City A. But not long after, my phone rang again. This time, my friend's tone was furious. She forced her way in, Augustine. She's screaming like a maniac. Through the receiver, I could hear her voice in the background, broken, desperate. Justin, stop lying. Why would he go to City A alone? He's hiding here. Make him talk to me. Justin snapped back, his patience gone. Elena, stop pretending. Why else would he go to City A? Obviously to join his new team. Didn't you check the system? He didn't renew. And just like that, his words hit her like ice water. Elena froze. Her knuckles turned white around her phone. The truth had finally caught up to her. For a second, Elena forgot how to breathe. What are you talking about? Her voice trembled, thin and cracking under its own weight. Even she could hear the panic leaking through the act. I saw it with my own eyes, Justin said flatly. The system showed Augustin withdrew his resignation. It said he didn't leave. Justin gave a dry, humorless laugh, unlocking his phone and turning the screen toward her. The glow lit her face, and what she saw felt like a punch to the chest. A headline screamed across an esports forum, breaking SCG's championship shot caller Augustin officially joins TMW after contract expiration. The timestamp read this morning. Beneath it, a dimly lit photo of a signing ceremony, and even in that grainy light, she knew that side profile instantly. It was him. Elena, Justin said, his tone edged with disbelief. Do you only see what you want to see? He didn't cancel his resignation to stay. He did it so the system could close out his contract before leaving your team for good. He folded his arms, the corner of his mouth twisting into a bitter smirk. You've been in this game long enough. You know what it means when news like this hits the forums. The words shattered whatever fragile denial she'd been clinging to. Elena stumbled back, hitting the cold steel door. A chill crawled up her spine. Her thoughts scattered. Flashes of the past few days rushing in all at once. The shouting, the pride, forcing him to apologize to Mickey, that humiliating kiss at the bar. Even last night, when she'd gone to his room and found it empty, she'd still believed. He'd come back. He always did. But now, the photo, that proof, it burned through her last shred of hope like fire through paper. Her hands shook as she grabbed her phone. She typed her passcode wrong, once, twice, 3 times, before finally getting in. The screen loaded painfully slow. Every second felt like it was mocking her. Then it appeared. The bright red words cut through her like glass. No renewal, process completed. No, that's impossible, she whispered, tears blurring the screen. He said he'd take SCG to the World Championship with me. How could he just leave? Justin's expression softened, though irritation still lingered. He said a lot of things, Elena, but did you ever really listen? Who treated his resignation like a joke? Who told him he didn't deserve to play? You're the one who drove him away. She didn't answer, just clutched her phone tighter like it might somehow rewind time. And then she remembered. The day of the summer finals. The redness in his eyes. The tape on his wrist. The way he'd smiled and said, "We're one step closer to the World Championship." And she hadn't even looked up from her notes. He can't leave. SCG can't lose him. Her voice broke completely. Then, as if something inside her snapped, she lifted her head, eyes wild, desperate. Without another word, she turned and bolted for the stairs, heels clattering against the metal steps, sharp and panicked. I'm going to find him, she gasped, more to herself than anyone else. Justin watched her vanish down the stairwell, exhaling a long, tired sigh. Pulling out his phone, he typed a quick message to Augustine. Elena says she's heading to City A to find you. Be careful. Outside the car window, the night lights of City A blurred into streaks of neon. The air here felt different, brighter, colder, sharper somehow. I leaned my head against the glass, feeling the dull ache in my wrist pulse like an old reminder. But beneath it all, for the first time in months, I felt free. The TMW base loomed ahead, a standalone villa that practically glowed with confidence. Its logo, a fierce blue, shimmered in the dark like the eye of something alive. The moment I stepped out, a man came striding toward me. Finally. Traffic bad? It was Max, TMW's manager, his grin wide, his energy contagious. He grabbed my suitcase before I could protest. Come on, let's get you settled in. The team's been waiting, and especially Zoe. She's been talking about you all afternoon. Zoe. The name hit me like a faint echo from another life. We'd grown up together in the same housing complex. Back then, she'd trail behind me calling, Augustine Gage! Whenever our parents weren't home, I'd sneak her onto my computer to play games. She was terrible at it, always blaming the keyboard when her character died. But when I decided to go pro and my parents turned their backs on me, she'd been the one to quietly press her pocket money into my hand. I believe in you. You'll be a champion someday. She was the first person who ever believed I could win. Max's voice pulled me back to the present as we walked the hallways. He chatted about the team, the rooms, the schedules, until he stopped at one door and pushed it open. "This one's yours," he said. "Best view in the house. Quiet. Perfect for someone who needs to think." The room was pristine, modern, spacious, and undeniably new. Through the window, the skyline stretched like a trail of stars reflected on the river. "Thanks," I said quietly. Max clapped my shoulder with a grin. "Don't mention it. Dinner's in half an hour. Official welcome meal." When the door closed behind him, silence filled the space. For the first time in a long while, it wasn't suffocating. It was peaceful. I stood there for a moment, breathing it in, realizing that maybe I was finally where I needed to be. From the moment I found that resignation request, to the argument with Elena, to the decision to finally walk away. It had only been a few days. But somehow, in those few days, everything I thought was stable just collapsed. The place I once imagined I'd retire from, I left it behind without a second thought. And the woman I once believed I couldn't live without, turns out losing her didn't shatter me. My heart didn't break. It just went quiet, numb. I was almost done unpacking when a soft knock came at the door. I thought it was Max, maybe coming to rush me down for dinner. But when I opened it, there she was, Zoe. Leaning casually against the doorframe in a TMW jacket, her long hair tied back, that same mischievous smile tugging at her lips. "Well, well," she said, eyes glinting. "Look who finally decided to bless TMW with his presence, our great shot caller himself." For a moment, I just stared. The little girl who used to cry whenever she lost a game, the one who'd trail behind me calling Augustine Gege, now stood before me, one of the league's brightest stars. A pro capable of carrying a team on her own. "What do you mean, bless you?" I said, stepping aside with a faint smile. "I just needed somewhere to eat." "Oh, please," she shot back, walking in like she owned the place. "Someone like you, no place to go? Who'd believe that?" She said it lightly, but there was warmth there, too. We hadn't talked much in years. Life, tournaments, everything had drifted us apart. The last time we crossed paths was during a match last season, a polite nod before the game, maybe a holiday message after. And yet seeing her here now, it stirred something bittersweet. "Our coach has been waiting for you," she said, turning toward the window. "Settling in okay?" "Yeah," I nodded. "The base is great." "And the people?" she asked, one brow raised. I hesitated. "Just got here. Haven't met them yet." She nodded slowly, not pushing further. For a moment, she just stood there, staring out at the river skyline, her voice softening. "I've been trying to get you to come for an entire season," she said quietly. "Didn't think you'd actually do it." "Neither did I admitted. The silence that followed wasn't awkward. It was heavy, full of things we both understood but didn't need to say. Then she turned, eyes steady, serious for the first time that night. "Welcome to TMW, Augustine," she said. "We need you here." And in that instant, I knew exactly what she meant. TMW, once a powerhouse, had fallen from glory. They didn't just need a player. They needed someone to rebuild their fire. And maybe that's what I needed too, a place to start again. Before I could respond, her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, swiped it silent, and smiled. "Dinner's ready," she said. "Come on. Let me show you what real food tastes like, way better than SEG's cafeteria." The dining hall was bright, filled with laughter and noise that bounced off the walls. The long table buzzed with energy, players, staff, all in good spirits. Max waved me over like I was an old friend. Zoe sat beside me, introducing each teammate one by one, roles, quirks, habits. It felt easy, genuine. When the team started asking about my old matches and my shot-calling strategies, it didn't feel like an interrogation. It felt like respect. Pure, unfiltered respect from people who simply wanted to win. But in the middle of all that laughter, I noticed movement. A staff member whispered something into Max's ear. His smile faltered. Then he looked at me. "Augustine," he said slowly, "someone's here to see you." As I followed the staff downstairs, a quiet unease started forming in my chest. I already had a feeling who it was. And when I reached the lobby, that feeling became reality. Elena. She stood by the entrance, hair loose, strands sticking to her flushed cheeks. Her eyes were red, her composure gone. The sharp, confident coach I once knew, gone. "Augustine," she breathed, stepping toward me. "Why did you leave without saying anything? SCG's waiting for you. You signed with TMW. Was that your plan all along?" I took a step back, keeping my tone calm. "I left through the proper process, Elena. Contract expired, that's all. Signing with TMW was my decision. After I left SCG, it has nothing to do with you." I paused, meeting her eyes. "Besides, you're the one who submitted my resignation. So what's wrong? Isn't this what you wanted?" Her face twisted. "What I wanted?" She snapped, voice rising, drawing curious glances from nearby staff. "Do you even have a heart, Augustine? Did you forget the summer championship? You said we'd go to Worlds together. Did you forget who fought to make you SCG's starter when everyone else doubted you? You said that, and then you left. It was just a joke, and you actually left." Her words came fast, messy, emotional, but to me, those memories felt like ashes now. Cold, burned out, and done. "Elena," I said quietly, "are you seriously blaming me? Was I the one who treated my resignation like a joke? Was I the one who gambled my career with Mickey? You told me to get out. You crushed everything we built with your own hands. And now you're asking if I have a heart?" Her face went pale. Her lips trembled, but no sound came out. Then finally her voice cracked, breaking through the silence. "Augustine, I know I was wrong. I shouldn't have argued with you like that." Her words hung there, fragile, desperate, echoing through the quiet lobby that suddenly felt much too small. She stood there trembling, her voice soft but desperate. "Please come back. You can have your starting spot again. We'll go back to how things were." "Go back?" I laughed, low and hollow, the kind of laugh that doesn't reach your eyes. "All right then," I said, my tone cutting through the air. "Transfer Mickey to the second team." Elena froze. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. For a second, guilt flickered across her face, a face I once would have given everything to protect. But not anymore. "You can't, can you?" I said quietly. "You used to swear you'd never gamble with my career. And now look at you, Elena. You really think we can go back?" Tears spilled down her cheeks. She reached out, but before her fingers could brush against my wrist, another voice sliced through the tension. "Funny," Zoe said, stepping into the light. "You're the one who pushed him out, and now you're crying for sympathy? What do you think this is, Elena? Your personal playground?" She moved beside me, calm and sharp as a blade. "When Augustine played through that injury, you didn't care. You were too busy betting on your rookie, and now that he's finally standing on his own, you show up? You're not here for him. You're scared. Scared that without him, SCG will crumble. Stay out of this," Elena snapped, her voice cracking. "I'm TMW's captain," Zoe fired back without missing a beat. "And his teammate. Big difference." She handed me my water bottle, her smirk razor thin. "You never knew what you had, Elena, and now you're mad someone else does." Elena's anger boiled over. She shoved forward, hand raised, but I caught her wrist midair, not hard, just enough to stop her. "Don't make a scene," I said softly. Her composure shattered. "Then come with me," she begged.
Please, SCG needs you.
Zoe didn't even look up from her phone. "Security," she said simply. "There's someone making trouble in the lobby." Elena turned to me one last time, eyes wide and wet. "Augustine, please." I took a breath. "Elena," I said, voice steady, final. "I'm doing well here at TMW. Let's stop. No more meetings. No more messages." I met her gaze one last time. "Not just SCG, and we're done." Security led her out, her figure small and broken, fading down the hall like a shadow that had finally lost its light. Zoe tilted her head toward me. "You okay?" "I'm fine." "Good," she said with a shrug. "Dinner's getting cold. People like her aren't worth losing your appetite over." A month later, the new season began, and fate, as always, had a sense of humor. TMW's first match was against SCG. In the hallway before the game, our eyes met again. Elena beside Mickey. His smug grin said it all. Hers. Told a different story. Regret, pride, something twisted between. "Well, if it isn't the great Augustine," Mickey sneered. "How's it feel clinging to TMW's thigh?" Before I could answer, Xiaoshu cut in, smirking. Funny, coming from the guy who flashed into a wall last season. Need me to send you the clip? The laughter that followed was easy, natural, the sound of a team that fit. I looked at Mickey, calm and cool. Let's settle it on stage. Some of us don't need an injury to get a starting spot. His face turned red. Zoe let out a low laugh beside me, brushing her hair back. Coach Elena, she said sweetly, maybe teach your players some manners. Trash talk only works when you've earned it. Elena's hands shook, her knuckles white around the clipboard. But I just looked at her, steady, detached. Once she could shake my whole world with a single look. Now, she was just another face in the crowd. Let's go, I told my team. As we walked toward the blinding stage lights, I felt something shift inside me. Not anger, not pain. Just clarity. This match wasn't about revenge. It was proof that leaving SCG, was the best move I'd ever made. The crowd roared. I sat, adjusted my gear, felt the weight of the headset close me in. Silence. Focus. The world narrowed to a heartbeat and the faint burn of an old injury. Not a reminder of weakness, but of how far I'd come. A new chapter had begun. Across the stage, I could feel their eyes on me, the SCG players. Their stares were heavy, tangled with resentment, frustration, and maybe a trace of regret too faint to name. I didn't need to look to know exactly where it came from. The drafting phase began. Elena's strategy still carried echoes of my old playstyle, but it was a hollow imitation. She was trying to make Mickey the centerpiece, forcing plays that ignored the balance and rhythm a team needs to survive. Meanwhile, our coaches had studied her patterns like a map. And Zoe, she knew Elena's habits by heart. Stick to the plan, I said into the mic, my voice calm, grounded. Got it, my teammates replied, their excitement barely contained. Game 1 started. SCG tried to invade early, desperate for control. But I'd already seen it coming. The vision traps I'd set caught them mid-step. Counterattack, collapse, complete wipeout. Mickey's mechanics crumbled under pressure, his every move predictable, every mistake magnified. His desperation to prove himself became his undoing. From there, the momentum snowballed. TMW played like a machine, sharp, relentless. 20 minutes in, the enemy nexus exploded. 1-0. The roar from our fans shook the entire arena. When the camera cut to SCG's booth, Mickey looked pale, shell-shocked. Elena's jaw was tight, knuckles white around her clipboard. The second game told the same story. SCG tried to play it slow, dragging us into the late game, but we didn't let them breathe. We owned the map, stripping away every resource, every ounce of hope. I guided the team like a surgeon, every call precise, every move cutting deeper. Zoe danced through their defenses like a shadow, each strike perfectly timed. And when their formation finally cracked at Baron, I didn't hesitate. Now, I called. We dove, clean, total annihilation. 2-0. On SCG's side, silence. Elena was shouting, desperate, but her players' eyes were already empty. Their will to fight was gone. By Game 3, it wasn't a contest. It was a dismantling. Their plays fell apart, their spirit broken. 15 minutes in, the gold gap was a canyon. We pushed straight through their base, unstoppable. The final nexus shattered. 3-0, the arena erupted. My teammates ripped off their headsets, cheering, hugging, shouting my name. I just leaned back, exhaled, and felt the faint throb in my wrist. A reminder of how far I'd come. During the handshake line, Mickey didn't even look up. His hand was ice cold when it brushed mine. Then Elena stepped forward. For a second, she looked like she wanted to speak, to say something, anything, but all that came was silence. A brief trembling shake of my hand, and it was done. I turned away and walked toward the center of the stage, toward the cheers, the light, the noise that now belonged to me and my team. In that moment, I knew. I'd finally left SCG and Hurrid behind. From there, TMW surged forward like a storm. We tore through the playoffs unstoppable, and when the finals came, we didn't just win, we dominated. Another flawless 3-0. Golden confetti poured down, shimmering in the spotlights as the trophy lifted high above us. Its weight in my hands felt unfamiliar, but real. Ours. SCG, meanwhile, was left in ruins. They limped through the lower bracket, collapsing before they even reached the semifinals. Word spread that Elena had been dismissed and Mickey, well, the public tore him apart. But all of that, none of it mattered anymore. As the gold streamers fell and the crowd chanted our name, I looked up into the light and felt it settle deep in my chest. That quiet certainty. A new era had begun. A new dynasty. was just getting started.